Hi folks, Gino Gang, how are you? Hope everybody's fine. We're on our way to pick up, hey, what's up? We're on our way to pick up Martha Walters. Martha is going to be a guest on my show. It's an honor to have her. I'm a little nervous, I have to admit it. And a lot of you folks know Martha, but if you don't, she's... I don't really know how to describe Martha. I think words can't describe her. She's become a Nantucket icon. And I guess she's also very popular in Boston as well. But I'd like to know more about Martha, and if you haven't seen her show, I strongly suggest you watch it. She may be changing her hours, or they may be on at a different time, because it's just starting up again. So we're off to the White Elephant, and we'll see what she's up to, and take a little ride around with her. I think this should be fun. There you are, Martha.
Now if I can just...
Yep, whatever I can do to...
Then climb in.
Yeah, well, it used to be.
Okay?
Oh, great. Okay, we're all comfortable?
Yep.
Good. Bye-bye. So this is it, Martha.
We're on our way.
We're on our way.
Where are we going?
Wherever you like. Whatever you like to do, wherever you want to go. Okay, I'll just back out of here. And these drinks that are here, Bernadette from Nantucket Natural provided for you.
How
You have
thoughtful.
water and birch beer, or some sort of a passion fruit drink.
That sounds pretty sweet.
You bet.
And
Yeah.
I'll stick
This is a
with
special.
the water if I get that thirsty.
This is special for me. I'll tell you, this is a treat.
Well, it seems to me you have pretty interesting people on all the time.
You think so? Do you find it interesting? I often
Well,
wonder.
I don't see it too often, but the times I have caught it, yeah. I like the little boys that didn't have enough change for you buying iced tea or whatever.
All right, yeah, I know. That was kind of funny. Do you know Kevin Flynn?
No.
Yeah, okay.
What does he do?
He's a comedian. He's he's a comedian, and he's been on a talk show called Go For It.
And he's the father of one of those little boys?
Oh, no, he was the gentleman that was in the car with me.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So you were over at the White Elephant.
We have lunch there every Friday when I produce a fashion show, which I've been doing for about 17 years.
Right.
And there's the same nucleus of ladies who come every Friday.
Yeah. And how was it?
It was a good show.
Was it? It was your first one this season, is that right?
No, we had one last week.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. We had Erica Wilson last week.
Yeah.
And next week we'll have Michelle. You know, that wonderful shop on Center Street with vintage wedding gowns.
Right. So you're into all sorts of stuff, aren't you?
Yes, I guess that would be a fair statement.
You're such a busy lady.
Well, you have to be when you live on an island.
That's true. Do you spend most of your time here on Nantucket, or are you in Boston?
In the winter I go up to Boston every week for 2 or 3 days. I have to go to the parties that I write about.
I see, and that maybe we could talk a little bit about those, what you do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I have a paper which I've had for about 10 years called Round and About Boston. And that covers private parties, benefit parties, museum and art gallery openings, everything of interest. And I just go to the party, have a good time, and write about who was there and what they said and what they wore, you know, everything ladies like to read about.
I see. I see.
And it's great fun.
And you, I'm sorry.
This year I've combined it with Nantucket News, so there isn't much going on in Boston in the summer.
Right.
So it's mostly covering Nantucket events.
Social events.
Yeah.
Right. And you enjoy those. That's what you've done for...
Yeah.
What did you used to do? I mean, didn't you used to work...
I worked at Harvard.
You worked at Harvard? See, I didn't know this.
Oh.
I knew that you did something else other than... I mean, you have this reputation as a social person, who goes to social events.
Before I moved down here,
yeah.
I worked at Harvard for about 6 years.
And
then I moved down here to live.
What did you do in Harvard?
There is a course at Harvard, as I guess most colleges have a freshman required course of English, written English. And I was the executive secretary for that.
Okay.
And that was great fun. I only worked the college year. I had the whole summer off. And thoroughly enjoyed working with the freshmen. I used to bring my little dog, who weighed about 10 pounds, into my office every day. And I suddenly realized that a lot of those freshmen coming from the Middle West and spots, they were a little bit homesick when they hit Cambridge. And suddenly they found this woman who brings her dog to the office, and they would come in to play with my dog. So it worked out very well for the dog, the students, and for me.
Oh, that's great. So you've been on Nantucket for how many years?
Well, I've been living here year-round for about 27.
27?
But I used to come as a child in the summer when my parents would come down.
I see. And how has it changed in your
Now,
eyes?
on your left, it used to be a great, huge, overgrown field.
Yeah.
Now it's very snazzy new houses.
Well, that's good for you, though, isn't it?
I love this, what they've done to the beach side.
Yes.
Put that porte cochere in.
Yeah.
And now, as the taxi driver said to me, people don't get wet while they're trying to find the money to pay me. But it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And their plantings are great.
Do you often go around and discover new things about Nantucket in that way that relate to what you do and to the people that you write for? Do you actually keep an eye out for things like that? And because
I keep
Nantucket's
an eye out
changed.
for changes, but it only irritates me.
Oh, it does?
I shouldn't do. Well, when I moved down here to live, the winter times, nobody was here, but a handful of people who lived year-round.
Right.
And it was a wonderful, small town. And I came in about 69 to live here. And the following year, the developers started coming in. And the island's never been the same since. It's not a nice little cozy village anymore. It's kind of a condensed version of Manhattan. I was surprised yesterday. I was at the airport to meet someone, and a woman I know from Boston who recently bought a condo down here, and she was complaining about what was happening to Nantucket. And she said, suddenly the most expensive jewelry store in Manhattan has moved into Main Street. And she said, all these people coming, building huge houses. That isn't why I came to Nantucket. Well, the ridiculous thing is, that's not the reason these people who are building big houses came to Nantucket either.
No.
But now they're here, they're trying to turn it into exactly what they left behind.
What is it that they're trying to do?
I'll be darned if I know.
Yeah.
I thought they were trying to escape the big city atmosphere, but they're coming down and just rebuilding it.
Do you think that might be the reason why people might want to leave at some point because of
indeed I do. Indeed I do.
You do. And how about yourself? I mean,
well,
you're here to stay, though, right? I mean, it's not...
Well, I guess you reach a certain age when it's not very practical to move off to somewhere new.
Yeah.
But I am going to Italy in October.
That's right.
And if I like it, I may never come back. This may be my farewell interview.
Oh, no. We can't have that. Now, maybe we could talk, I think I know a little bit about this. This is something that your son, who everybody else knows on Nantucket.
Everybody knows
his
Charlie.
name is
Charlie Walters from Music Hall.
From Music Hall, that's right. He's a great guy. And he gave you a trip.
Well, I think he
right?
got a little bit tired down through the years of hearing his mother say, the only place I want to go is Venice, and I've really got to get there. But I never did anything about it. So when my birthday came, he said, I'm giving you a trip to Venice, but you have to make all the reservations and everything else yourself.
Right.
I'll take care of the bills. So at that point, I almost regretted I didn't have two sons, because I could have found some other place I'd like to go. No, Charlie is I'm very proud of Charlie, because I have never heard anybody have any adverse criticism about Charlie. He's very well liked.
Yes, he is.
And that's a great satisfaction to a parent.
He does a great job, too, down there. I mean,
yes, he does.
You know what's amazing is the fact that you can go in there and say, Charlie, do you have this album? It could be anyone from a popular artist who's, and I'm always asking for obscure stuff, and he always knows.
Yeah.
He knows every...
And he gets it within a couple of days.
Yeah, he does.
You know?
And he doesn't forget. He always gets it, and he calls you. It's good. Oh, wow.
This is quite a new section.
Yeah. What do you think of all this? I mean, is this...
Well, I'll tell you.
They've done a nice job, though, wouldn't you think? Or what do you
Yeah,
think?
they have. But you know, all this land was owned by one man, by Louis Davidson from New York.
Mm-hmm.
And Louis was a great conservationist at heart. And as he grew older, he would tell all his friends that he was going to leave all of this land to the land bank, the conservation group, so it would never be built.
Really?
And like so many other people, he never got around to changing the will. So when he died, his estate sold all of this land, and now it's this huge development. When it could have been acres and acres of open land. The only part of his estate left was right in here on the right, this driveway, which is his daughter's home.
Right.
You can't even see the house from here.
Right.
But that's the only part that was left of all those acres and acres.
Oh, man. I often look inside there and go, wow, it must be beautiful, because I've never been in there.
It's
is it?
Not a very fancy house. It's very simple, very old.
Right.
And beautiful grounds.
Yeah.
What more would anyone want?
Exactly. Do you want to roll that window up a little bit? Is that what
No,
is it
if
on?
you don't mind my hair blowing around.
No, not at all.
It's wonderful to have a bit of fresh air.
I opened this up too for you.
Yes, I
Isn't
can
that
feel
nice?
that.
Yeah.
You really have all the comforts of home.
I wanted to make this nice for you, Martha. I really did. And,
I appreciate
And are you comfortable? Is everything okay?
Oh, I may just stay here and ride around for weeks.
I love it. So, hey, you were interviewed. Why was he interviewing you, though?
No, I was interviewing him.
Okay, for your new show. For your
Round
TV
and
show.
about Nantucket.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. And when do we get to see that? And maybe you could talk to me about that.
Let's see. Next week.
I'm going to have this one if you're not going to drink the...
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You enjoy it.
Okay.
Next Wednesday at 8:30, we do a really nice interview with a man by the name of Jeff Cannon.
Jeff Cannon.
Do you know who he is?
No.
He is the tax collector and the treasurer of the town of Nantucket. And he commutes every day from Plymouth.
Wow.
Well, he said he loves the boat ride. He has a laptop.
He takes the boat?
Well, he takes the fast boat.
But still. That's...
You ever think, what could be pleasanter on a day like this than hopping onto a boat to go home?
I don't know if I'd want to do it every day, though.
Well, I wouldn't want to commute anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But
right.
Anyway, he does.
And he loves
And he answered a lot of questions that the average taxpayer might ask. He He's a very delightful, charming young man.
Yep.
And then the following week, we will do the show with Mr. Meehan, the writer of Annie.
Right.
And the following week, we do a show with my co-chairman for the Nantucket Tree Fund fundraiser. And then the week after that, I tape 4 at a time. The week after that, the guest is a man by the name of Lou Ames, who quite a few years ago was the producer of the Today Show.
Oh, right. Remember, we both met Lou. You got
That's
him,
right,
huh?
yes.
Hey, that's great.
That was the night I met him at John and Sandy's party.
That's right.
Yes, he did a great interview.
Oh, good.
It ran a little longer than usual, but he had a lot of interesting things to say, and I didn't want to cut him short.
And now, when can people catch your show? What's
Wednesday nights at 8:30.
Wednesday at 8:30, okay.
Before the selectmen's meeting. Well, can I tell you a little bit about the tree fund?
Yes, I wanted you to. That was what I wanted to ask you about. You bet.
Well, this will be the 17th year that we've had a fundraiser. And we originally started when Walter Beinecke owned the White Elephant.
Okay.
And he wanted a big party for the hotel, and he wanted the funds to go towards saving the elms, which were suffering from Dutch elm disease.
Okay.
And we did a cocktail fashion show. I thought the cocktail hour, we could get the men to come. And sure enough, the first year we had a few brave souls who came with their wives. Mm-hmm. And every year we would get more men, and they would all keep coming back year after year. So it really worked out well. Men enjoy fashion shows, even if they won't admit it.
Yeah, right.
But this year, we decided to have a ballet evening. And I've been working for a little over a year to get 4 principal dancers from the Boston Ballet to come down.
Yeah.
And we were all set up, and everything was in place, when suddenly posters appeared all over town with another group from the Boston Ballet coming down 10 days before our date. Well, the problem...
The same group?
No.
Oh, okay.
But from the same Boston Ballet.
Yeah,
a different group.
Different dancers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We, I'm glad to say, have the 4 most popular dancers in the Boston Ballet. 1 Russian girl, 1 girl from Brazil, and a young man and a young woman from the United States. But they are the real stars of the Boston Ballet Company. And they will be down on August 18th. Mm-hmm. And we're having kind of a package deal for this benefit. We're having dinner parties, private dinner parties at private homes for 10 people each.
Wow.
Then they all go on to the high school auditorium, the only stage on Nantucket large enough for the ballet.
Right.
And they enjoy the performance, and then all adjourn to the Jarrett Coffin House for a post-performance champagne reception where they'll be able to meet the dancers and chat with them and so on.
That'll be nice, huh?
So it's going to be a very gala evening, and it's all $150, which is a reasonable price these days.
You bet. That's very reasonable.
So
especially when you compare it to, for instance, what they're doing with the Boston Cups.
That's right. $1,500 for a ticket.
Yeah.
Unless you want to bring your own blanket and sit on the sand.
Right. And they're doing quite well with it, apparently.
I'm sure they will.
I mean, it's for a good cause as well, you know,
and
for the hospital.
They have a lot of off-island underwriters.
Yes, right.
Who are giving hundreds of thousands of dollars,
yes.
Which is great for the hospital. But I feel very strongly that for the tree fund,
right,
the funds should come from Nantucket people.
You do?
Because, well, You know, it's the Nantucket people who are going to benefit from having beautiful trees.
Yes.
How many people would want to come to Nantucket if there were no trees on Main Street? And that area. It makes all the difference in the world. So we have a group of underwriters who are businessmen here on the island, and they are giving enough money to pay all the expenses of bringing the group down.
Okay.
So what we make from ticket sales will be sheer profit.
What other things do you like to do?
Well, I like to do most everything, quite frankly. I love the theater.
You love the theater?
And Nantucket has great theater.
Yes, they do.
And I go to Boston and go to symphony. And of course, I go to the ballet. And one of the great advantages of being a member of the press in Boston, we get invited to a preview of all major art showings at the Museum of Fine Arts. So we are invited for breakfast or for lunch at the museum the day before an exhibit opens, when there's nobody there but the press.
Oh, wow.
And I find crowded museums very unattractive. I don't like to be jostled around, so I consider myself very fortunate to be able to go.
So do you, in the summertime, do you get a chance to go to Boston as well? Do you need to go, or do you just try to stay away?
Well, I don't go too often. Actually, I'm going Monday night. Les Dames d'Escoffier, which is the ladies' group of the followers of the great French chef Escoffier. And they're having a great Gatsby ball on Monday.
Oh, boy, are you...
So I'm going for that.
That's going to be super.
Oh, it's great fun. You get all dressed up looking ridiculous and you think you're having a wonderful time.
That's what you like to do? I mean, is that...
every now and then.
Because I saw you at one of the parties, at one of the film festival parties, and you looked fabulous. And you had in your escort?
Yes, he came down from Boston for the event.
Wow.
Yeah, we had fun that night. We left before the trashing of that beautiful house started.
Yeah.
Or at least I did. He wanted to stay longer, so I left on my own. Wow. It's great to get out in the country. I don't think I've ever come down this road before.
You never have? This is, you know what this is?
Goes to Surfside. Well, I remember years and years ago when the Boston Braves played as well as the Red Sox.
Right.
And I think the Braves played in the World Series one year. I don't think it was the Red Sox, but whichever one it was, a friend of mine who was a great baseball fan invited me to go to one of these World Series games. And I knew how important it was to him, and if there is anything in the world that bores me, it's baseball. So I very honestly told him that I thought he would be happier if he chose somebody else who really understood the game. I don't think he ever felt the same way towards me after that.
Oh.
That was the end.
Oh. Well, that's not good.
Well,
baseball isn't everything.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
It's a good sport, and I love it. It's a good game to watch.
Oh, it must be.
Oh, yeah.
But I've never understood it.
Well, that's it. Once you understand a little bit of the psychology involved, you can really appreciate it. But it's like
a hockey game.
See,
I could go to a hockey game every night in the week.
Really? Do you actually go when you're in Boston? Do you go to see the Bruins? Do you?
Sure.
Where do you live in Boston?
Beacon Hill.
You do? Yeah. Well, that must be nice.
Yeah.
Nice couple of addresses. Nantucket and Beacon Hill.
Best of all possible worlds.
Yeah. So are you the kind of lady that likes to go to a warm climate for a little while? No.
I go north.
You go north?
No. Matter of fact, yesterday I got a press release from the St. Anne ski area, which is just outside Quebec City, describing all their new ski trails. And that cooled me off for a couple of hours just reading about it yesterday.
Oh, really?
And today I got another press release of a new hotel that's just been built in Quebec City. Built in...
How do you like it up there? You must
I love Quebec.
I've never been there, but I've heard...
Oh, you have a treat coming.
Yeah? Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Wow, I gotta get up there.
Oh, you'd have a ball with your camera.
Yeah, it's very pretty, isn't it? Visual.
Come up with me sometime and I'll take you dog sledding.
You go dog sledding?
Yeah,
Is that the place, is Quebec the place where they close off the main street and they do dog sledding in the winter?
They do at the Winter Carnival.
Winter, that is amazing. I've heard
But it
about
gets
that.
really cold.
Yeah, I bet it does.
I went out one morning to see the dogs in the kennels, and somebody had put up the weather, the temperature in Fahrenheit, and it was 18 below zero.
And you didn't mind that?
Well, it's very dry,
Yeah.
and you don't mind it that much.
Right.
No, I love cold weather. It's this kind of weather that I don't enjoy. It's too hot to even go to the beach.
Yeah, it's nice for a change, but it's starting to wear
It's a
on
long
people.
change.
What about this
Yeah.
water situation? Boy, we're really using up the old water table.
We sure are. Nobody seems to pay much attention.
No, not yet, but they will.
Yeah, when it's too late.
I'm gonna go now. Gotta watch that guy. So you get to go on a lot of different trips, don't you? I mean,
Yes.
you're invited on different
Press
trips.
trips,
Press
yeah.
trips. Can you talk to me about that a little bit?
Well, what would you like to know?
Well, how did you get involved with doing press trips in the first place? I mean, is that part
Well,
of your paper?
I do a travel column in the paper.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have pretty much concentrated on the province of Quebec because there's something up there every season of the year. It's French speaking, but it's the cheap way to go to France.
Right. Yes.
And the wonderful thing is that everybody is bilingual,
Yeah.
so you don't have to worry about not being understood.
Right.
And the exchange rate is great.
Yes,
You
that's
know.
true. Yes.
Every dollar is worth $1.38 or 39 cents up there.
Right. Nice.
Now you should make a trip with your camera and your
I'll call you.
van.
I'm just been flat out. I'll call you in the next couple of days. Oh boy.
You could do a great travelogue.
Oh, I think I could. And you know what, Martha? I might get involved in that.
You sure?
Did you see that little piece I did on my Australian trip?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll have
When
that.
were you in
I
Australia?
was this past winter.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, and I
really?
did a little 20-minute piece about myself and my friend driving up the west coast to Monkey Mia, where the wild dolphins come in to play.
Oh, how
They come in
great.
every day
Do
to
they?
play. It's in the middle of nowhere, in Shark Bay of all places.
Well, now it was summer when you
Oh
were
yes,
out
it
there.
was
Yeah.
120 degrees.
That hot?
It was that hot. The car broke down. It's all documented. You'll have to
Yeah.
check it out. Maybe I'll show it this
Well,
week.
let me know when you're going to.
Well,
look.
actually, maybe I'll put it on this week because I haven't shown it since the spring, and no one saw it. Well, they saw it.
I've had a number of friends who have gone to Australia and New Zealand, and they all love it.
Oh, I've been going down there since '85. This is
Oh.
my 4th trip back.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. My 4th trip back. And do you travel to Europe? No, Venice is your first
First time to Italy.
to Italy,
Yeah.
but you've been to other places.
Well, my grandparents came from England,
Oh, they
so
did.
that was where the main interest was.
Yeah.
But no, you know where Charlie wants to go, and I would also love to go, is to Saudi Arabia and that area.
Oh, really?
Well,
I wonder why. Why?
well, I'll tell you why I want to go. I grew up on the book The Arabian Nights,
Oh.
where everybody was going around on flying carpets and wonderful romantic stories.
Yeah.
and it still seems to me to be a very romantic part of the world. But they don't, in Saudi Arabia, they don't even want visitors there. It's impossible to get in unless you're in on business.
Right, right.
And they also do not like ladies.
Yeah.
But Charlie thinks it would be great to go to Yemen. His wife can't quite understand why, but I can.
Well, what is it? Oh, okay. Yemen is the same thing, but a little bit more liberal.
It joins Saudi Arabia.
A little safer for women to go to as well.
Do you want to
drop you off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is this is what I was thinking.
The next street.
Next street? Perfect.
If you drop me and I just walk up the hill and I'm home.
Okay, is that what you want to do? Do you want me to?
Right here
Flora?
would be perfect.
Do you want me to drive up, Flora?
No.
Okay.
No, thanks.
Well,
there
Martha,
are too many one-way streets to get involved in. You'd be gone for a long time. I have enjoyed my trip around the island.
Oh,
yeah.
good. So did I, by the way. Thank you very much. Would you like to take this with you?
Oh.
Okay.
Thank the lady for me.
I
It's
will.
a new one I never heard of. Volvic?
Volvic, yeah. What is it, Icelandic or where is it from? Oh, it's France. There you go.
Really?
Oh, I'm going to help you with that. That door is a bit of a stickler. Actually, I'll turn the engine off here. There you go.
When do you think you might use this? If it
Next
comes
Thursday.
out?
Oh, it'll be out.
Next Thursday?
Yeah, for sure.
That'll be great, because I'll be away Monday and Tuesday.
Yep, it'll be on every day of the week, starting next Thursday,
Really?
Friday, yeah. And I might even have it open my show.
That's what they did at Channel 2.
You're lucky. You have a ladybug crawling.
Oh.
That's a sign of good luck, you know.
Well, Channel 2 did a
See?
beautiful pattern. Channel 2 did a program 2 or 3 years ago on Boston the way it used to be 40 years ago. And the Ritz-Carlton asked me if I would be their spokesman on the piece about the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh, really?
They still play that on Channel 2. When they have nothing else, they put it on.
Someone told me they saw you on there.
Yeah, you should catch it.
Yeah, I will. I look forward to it.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you, Martha. It was lovely.
Bye.
Bye-bye.